Welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. In this podcast, we discuss the how-to of creating conscious leadership for business, life, and the world. With ordinary people doing extraordinary things and being truly in control of their own health, wealth, and happiness. Knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. Introducing your host, Julie Hogbin, author, international speaker, mentor, disruptor, and creator of conscious leadership, and property investor living in the UK. Good morning. Julie Hogbin here from the Conscious Leadership Podcast, who just happens to be sitting in an Airbnb in Peterborough, who for the first time in her life has had a telly that's got Netflix on it. So I watched two films, documentaries the night before last, not last night, the night before. One was the documentary on Alexander McQueen, the designer who committed suicide on the eve of his mother's funeral when he was 40, which was very, very interesting. And I took a lot of lessons out of that, or a lot of learnings, which I'll share later around change in an industry. In some respects, imposing the change on him from the person he was to the person he became. And then the second one I watched was The Secret. Now, I've read the book. I operate law of attraction, manifestation, whatever you want to call it. But as I was watching The Secret, which I hadn't watched before, I had these thoughts of, well, we know, you know, I know, that how we are raised, how we're brought up, imprints in our brains, in our being, in our unconscious, programs. So as the adult we are, without conscious thought, without conscious rejigging, reprogramming, renegotiation with self, whatever you want to call it, we operate from those programs from our childhood. So watching The Secret, and one of the things that just raised a memory to me, little pop-ups come up every now and then, and I get them when they're needed, when they're appropriate. How many of you, when you grew up, were actually told not to ask for what you want? If you ask, you won't get. Seriously, how many? And if you've got a phrase that pops up into your mind now, please put it down in the comments below. Even if you're watching this video on a replay, you're watching it later, you're listening to the podcast version, please send me the phrases. Because those phrases run through us as the adults we are. They run through us, they direct our action. So if you think about all of us that are out there in this world of, and I don't really like the word, but the world of entrepreneurship, we run our own businesses, we're in life. Even if we're employed, we've got a manager or, we've got staff, we have to ask them for what we want. Morning, Richard. Haven't seen you for a long time. I have to catch up. We have to ask them for what we want. We have to. Otherwise, how do they know what it is we want? So if we are told as a child not to ask for what we want because you won't receive it, how on earth do we then learn the strategies, learn the how-to ask for what we want as we're older? And then when you think about the universe and putting out into the universe what we want. So we've got our goals, we've got our vision, we've got our mission, we've got our strategy, we've got our short-term goals, our milestones, our long-term goals, our highfalutin, overarching aim, mission, vision, whatever we want to call it. Unless we are really clear that we can ask for that thing, and my hand is right out there, it's out the window, everybody, it's making me chuckle. Unless we give ourselves permission to ask for the thing and truly believe that the thing that we're asking for we deserve, it won't happen. So really, please think about, how were you spoken to as a child? What words, what sentences, what phrases have you got running through your head? Mine was, well, I've shared it earlier. So again, think about what was, there's a few more for me. So my dad used to say to me, you can go to the end of the garden, you can go to the end of the path, but don't open the gate. I'd love for you to tell me what you think that's about. They're the two that spring to mind at the moment. I can't think of any. I've done this really off-piste and ad hoc. I thought it may serve somebody today. So please write your comments underneath this. I'd love to know. I'd really love to know, because then maybe I could do a little snapshot on what that is and how that links into us achieving what we need to achieve in life. Or not say what we need to achieve, what we want to achieve. What we want to achieve, what we need to achieve are sometimes two different things. The universe hates a void. It will fill the gap. I'm learning this as I'm going through. If there's a gap, something will fill it, and it's not necessarily what I want or need to fill the gap, but because I haven't got my plan quite finalised yet, something else will plop in and fill it. So please let me know what you are thinking about this. Please comment. I'll answer all your questions. I'm going to say, have a fabulous, fabulous day. Go out there, do something that will take you closer to where you need to be or where you want to be. Have a fabulous day. Go out there and take action. Talk to you all soon. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. You can contact Julie on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and hear me out. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel for how-to videos and more content. And please message Julie to have your questions answered. Until next time, remember, knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. See it, say it, write it, believe it, and achieve it.